Yeah, I'm going to talk about some of the aspects of automation and also kind of follow up where Peter kind of left off there in that last slide and talk about some of those building components that you can use to really enhance your media workflows. So my name is Kunal Batra, and in this session, we're going to be talking about enhancing media workflows with AI ML. And let's begin. Let me just get to my screen here. Okay, so just a little bit about me, just to calibrate for any of the questions or conversations that might happen during or after this presentation. I'm a senior developer advocate here at AWS, essentially an engineer who helps build awareness and adoption of our services. Worked in a lot of different developer-focused verticals. If you have any questions on any of those or anything we talk about today, feel free to reach out to me at my email, kbatra@amazon.com, or you can reach out to me on Twitter at Kunal732, which is by far the fastest way to get in touch with me. And I'm also really into machine learning and computer vision. If you've seen any of my past presentations before, I'm sure you're aware of that. But on the bottom left of the slide there, that's a model I built that lets you know whether the garage door is open or closed. On the right side of that counts how many people are online. And then another one over here that just detects common household items. So this is actually a passion of mine. If you have any questions on something that you want to build, whether it's media related, whether it's not, again, feel free to reach out and happy to help in any way possible. Okay, so before we get into that enhancing media workflows aspect of this, I want to talk about the AI ML side of things and how we look at it here at AWS. And this is the most recent updated AWS ML Stack here from reInvent. But basically, we look at it in terms of 3 different layers. So if you look at that bottom portion of the slide where it says frameworks and infrastructure, this is how we kind of cater to the advanced machine learning practitioners. We have teams dedicated to TensorFlow, MXNet, PyTorch, and we really want to make sure that these run in the most optimized way possible in the AWS cloud. Now, if you go one level above this to the ML services, this is our suite of tools under that SageMaker umbrella that makes it easy to build, train, and deploy machine learning models for developers as well as data scientists. And if you go one step above that, these are our AI services here, right? And these are a lot of the building components that you see for enhancing media workflows. These are essentially machine learning models that we've created internally here at Amazon, and we've opened it up as APIs for any developer to access. You don't need to have that machine learning expertise. And we're going to take a look at a couple of these in the following slides. Oh, whoops. So let's get started here. So media analytics, this is complex, right? Essentially, typically we start out with a video asset, and a video asset has a lot of different layers to it. You have that visual component, you have the audio layer, you have subtitles, you have other metadata here. And we want to take AI/ML and we want to have the ability to extract insights from this. We want to be able to put this through complex video and AI/ML workflows, and we want to have the ability to evolve this as well. Right, and some of these typical workflows that we see here for enhancing your media, you see on the slide over here, you have subtitling and localization. Essentially, you want to be able to use and extend the reach of your video content with subtitling and localization. Now, for moderation and compliance, this is used to ensure that content is appropriate for the intended audience and that it meets regulatory requirements. For marketing and advertising, want to be able to match ads to content and also automate the ad insertion workflows. For search and monetization, our customers want to be able to increase the discoverability of content by surfacing more information about the people, objects, and topics in their content. And then last over here, personalization and user experience. Customers are looking to provide an enhanced user experience, either by matching the content of the media to the customer, or by enriching the content with more information here. And you can see in the bottom of the slide, these are some of the tools and building components we have to actually accomplish this. Now, this is a fun use case over here. This was something created by Sky News back in 2018 for Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding coverage. And basically, they had this live streaming experience. It gave users an inside look at guest arrivals, and it used machine learning to detect guests in real time as they appeared on screen, showcased a steady stream of facts and insights about each arriving guest, including their connections to the former royal couple. And the service there took advantage of Amazon Recognition for video and image analysis. It provided real-time identification of celebrities and metadata tagging with related information. So that was an interesting use case. I believe it was called Who's Who. Another example here, we also have automated redaction, right? You have the ability to take a look and localize on faces over here, and you have the ability to kind of pixelate that as well. And this automated redaction doesn't only apply to video content. You can also apply this using our Amazon Transcribe service to text as well. That'll automatically redact any sort of personally identifiable information if required. And so another aspect of this enriching media workflows here, sorry about that, let me just shut this audio up. I'm not sure if you can hear it anyway, but basically you have the ability for live and post-production subtitling and translation. You can see subtitles are automatically being put over there. And also you can have this translated as well too. And also you can have the text using Amazon Poly being translated into a different language for audio as well. Right, so these are all taking advantage of that top layer of AI ML services that we talked about earlier in the presentation. Now, when you take a look at the architecture for doing this media enrichment, you have on the left-hand side over here, your sources, right? So a lot of what we're showcasing in this presentation is computer vision, but you can have data coming from multiple sources. And then you want to be able to ingest that into some application there, be able to store that data, process, analyze it, create inferences and insights from there, and then be able to deploy it. This can be deployed as a graphic overlay, predictions, personalization, or as an API. Now you can discover this media in lots of different places, live events, media libraries, social media, and you can just use tools like Amazon Recognition to figure out the who, what, and where is happening in your media, right? Recognition gives you the ability to do celebrity detection. It also gives you the ability to do classification as well, right? So it can automatically give you the labels of what's happening in your content, the concepts and the scenes. So in this case, you can see that there are automobiles, there's persons, a skateboard, and you can keep going on, architecture, parking, and you can use this for searching and make your content more discoverable as well. And then outside of those classification, you can also do detection, right? So you can also see not only what's an image, but also where it is in an image, and do things like counting as well, if that's something that you want to be able to search on or be able to discover your content later on as well. You also have the ability to do see different types of activities that are happening in your content. In this case, you can see that Recognition will tell you that it's going to say playing soccer is happening over here. It also gives you the ability to track paths as well, right? So Recognition video can create a track of the path of people taken videos and provide information such as the location of the person in the video frame at the time that their path is tracked. So some interesting things that you can do here with Recognition. Also, the ability to OCR. So you can see that it can take a look at text and numbers, and that text and numbers, it can also be rotated or maybe not flat like you would typically see it on like a printed piece of paper, right? So it has the ability to also give you the ability to search on that as well, just in case needed. Now, another very popular use case for Recognition is content moderation. So we don't give you tags saying something is safe or unsafe. We go more granular, and then we also give you confidence scores for that. So you can apply your own policies for your applications and what you're comfortable with or not based on the confidence scores for particular categories. Now, some other interesting aspects here, you have the ability for face recognition as well. So if something's not a celebrity and you want to be able to tag other people's faces in your content as well, you can go ahead and do that too and recognize those faces. You also have the ability for looking at trends as well, not just for particular people. So you can say that here are the demographics, the emotions, the different styles that you're seeing in a large set of images or video, right? And again, with Recognition, you can do that facial comparison as well. So if you have a particular actor or someone who's new that you want to be able to target or be able to search on in your content, you can see that it doesn't have to necessarily be that same photo. It can be a little bit different photo, still be able to recognize who that is. And then again, for facial analysis, you can also see things like sunglasses, accessories, glasses, also demographic information, and also some aspects of seeing if someone's smiling or not. We also give you the ability to do detection on black frames, end of credits, shot detections, or color bars. And these are great for different types of insertion workflows for your content. So yeah, this is an interesting one over here. This is not something typically used for media workflows, but Recognition also gives you the ability to detect on PPE. I just wanted to throw this in there just in case someone has a niche workflow there where they might want to look at this and see if someone is doing wearing PPE. That is available with Recognition as well. So we're talking a lot about the components here, right? These are the building blocks for kind of creating these media workflows. I'm going to talk about two more of these building blocks here. And then I want to, towards the end of the presentation, showcase an application that Peter actually showcased on his last slide called the Media Insights Engine. So let's go ahead and just talk about some of these building blocks. In this case, this is Amazon Transcribe, right? So Transcribe is our deep learning service to convert speech to text quickly. It automatically adds punctuation and formatting so the output closely matches the quality of a manual transcription. You can also stream these transcriptions. You can add custom vocabulary for domain-specific words and phrases like product names. You can recognize multiple speakers. You have automated content redaction, like I mentioned before. And then also, this can transcribe audio in 31 different languages. Another service here, Comprehend. So once you get that text, you want to use, you have the ability to use natural language processing that uses machine learning to find insights and relationships in that text, right? So Comprehend can extract key phrases, places, people, brands, or events. It understands how positive or negative the text is. It can analyze text using tokenization and parts of speech, and automatically organize a collection of text by topic. So those are kind of some of those building components here. I do want to touch about this idea of how do you customize this, right? So we kind of showcase those top areas where you can do take advantage of what Recognition knows. You can take advantage of Transcribe, as well as kind of that speech to text aspect of things. But you also have the ability to extend this and be able to understand and recognize things that might not be something that those top level AI services know, right? And there's a couple of ways to do this. The first is that second layer over here, that machine learning services. You can take advantage of SageMaker and build a custom model to detect something maybe in your media workflows that might be interesting for you or something that you want to get more insight on. You have the ability to do that with SageMaker. You also have the ability to do that with Recognition as well. And we introduced something called custom labels. So I'm going to do two things right now. First, let me just switch off this presentation and go into my console here. So let me just end this show. I'm going to go into my browser here. Hopefully everyone can see this. I'm going to open up a new tab, go to console.aws.amazon.com, and this is kind of how you access all of our services here. I want to showcase Recognition while we're here. And this is a service that I've been talking a lot about, and that's kind of just because I love computer vision as well, and it's just something I'm passionate about talking about. But what I was trying to showcase here is custom labels. Now, custom labels is the ability to create these custom objects that you can detect, right? And I want to just showcase some past models that I've created here. So this is one just on cards, right? And this might not make sense for particular workflows, but I just want to showcase the idea here that you have the ability to quickly train models here by just drawing bounding boxes around objects, and then you don't need any machine learning expertise. You can go ahead and train a model that will then go ahead and detect these objects, and then from there you can add that again into your media workflows over here, right? So you don't have to have those machine learning experts on staff to create a way to extend these media workflows. You can also have just developers there who can take advantage of a tool like custom labels and add that in there. The other thing I wanted to talk about over here in case of extensibility is, let me switch back to my presentation, is data labeling, right? So when I showcase that example over there of the cards, this is something that you need a lot of data for, and you need to label that to get these accurate models that you can use in your workflows, right? So in this case, this is a hard problem, and we've introduced a tool called SageMaker Ground Truth that really simplifies that data labeling process so you can have an accurate model. It does a couple of things for you. It gives you the ability to quickly label your training data. It gives you access to a third-party pool of labelers that you can take advantage of to label that data. And it does interesting things to give you accurate results, as well as give you less reduced costs for getting this done. So we'll just talk about this really quickly. Now, when you want to give videos or lots of photos to third-party labelers, you want to have them have a great experience and a way for like a workflow for them to label that data in a quick fashion. So with Ground Truth, we have these different sets of workflows where they can quickly label your data in different types of ways. So you can do bounding boxes over there to detect objects in videos or images. You can do image classification if you want to see what scenes are happening in your particular movie or videos. Text classification, semantic segmentation if you want to see at the pixel level where an object is in some of your videos or frames of your videos. So these are different things that you can take advantage of with Ground Truth. Now, I mentioned that you also have the ability to choose third-party human labelers. This is great. Mechanical Turk is a workforce of 500,000 strong. So if you have a lot of data that needs to get labeled, this is a fast way to get that done. It's also really low cost as well. Now, the one thing is it's not for sensitive data. If you do have something that requires subject matter expertise or sensitive data, we also make it easy for you to use your own in-house pool of labelers to get that done as well. You can also take advantage of third-party vendors who do have different types of enterprise support plans or expertise that you might require too. And I also mentioned that this helps you accurately label your data, right? And that's something that's really important. So to get that accuracy, first, what a lot of our customers do, they do majority voting, and this is not accurate, right? So if you have for example, in this use case here, you want to label this dog. You have 4 labelers here. 3 out of these 4 labelers say it's a bulldog, but it's actually a Shar-Pei, right? So in this case, you get a bulldog over here as the answer, but this is not the right answer, and this will have an incorrect train an incorrect model. Now with Ground Truth, we take advantage of probabilities and the Bayes theorem, and we take a look at like the accuracy of these labelers, and we can see that the labeler here who said Shar-Pei tends to be more accurate overall than, even though 3 out of the 4 people said bulldog, the actual it'll be labeled correctly as Shar-Pei. And if you're interested on the actual technical aspect of what we're doing there behind the scenes, we're doing something called expectation maximization, a modified version of that. And we released a paper showcasing that. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can check that out as well. Now, the last thing here for labeling data is if you have a lot of data, this tends to get kind of costly, right? So you don't want to always send all your data to human labelers. With active learning, what you're doing now is you're first sending your data to human labelers, but in the meantime, you're also training a model. And we're going to start sending the data that you want to get labeled to that computer vision model as well. And if it's accurate, great. And if it's not accurate, then we'll send it back to human labelers until that model gets more accurate. And this is a great way to save a lot of cost on labeling large data sets to create accurate machine learning models. So I just talked a lot about the different components here that you have for creating enhancing those media workflows. But we've also released a framework here. We created a framework, and this helps developers focus less on the scaffolding and more on the things that make their applications impactful. So this is the Media Insights engine. It enables developers to create workflows composed of operators, these are different functions, that perform tasks on media in modular, extensible ways. So again, this is extensible, it's modular, and it helps you quickly iterate faster in enhancing your media workflows. And I'll showcase an example right after these slides. So again, this is really easy to use. Basically, it's a one-click launch, and I'll show you how to do that. It gets you started with your projects quickly. It's well architected. It's made with AWS best practices. It saves you resources on developing the solution from the beginning. Oops, and then again, this is also extensible over here. So what I'm going to do now is switch out of this presentation. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Media Insights engine. So let's look at that. Let me go to the Media Insights engine here. I believe it's this first tab over here. So this is the Media Insights engine. Let me, before I go into this, let me just showcase this. This is the GitHub link that Peter had at the end of his slide as well, talking about the Media Insights engine. If you want to install this, basically just click on Launch Stack and just follow the instructions there that'll walk you through, and then it'll go ahead and install the Media Insights engine into your AWS account. It's great. It's one-click install. It definitely makes that easier to take advantage of all of those building blocks that I talked about in this presentation and put it in a way that you can start using it immediately for enhancing your media workflows. Now, once you get over here, the first thing you're going to want to do is upload content. When you go to this upload section over here, you can configure your workflow. So let's go ahead and configure it. These are the different operations that you want to do on this content, right? You want to be able to do detection, cue detection, shot detection, and you can also, again, extend these, right? You can extend it with custom labels. You can extend it with SageMaker. You have the ability to extend this for customizing it for your content. And in this case over here, I'm just going to leave it by its default. I've already uploaded content over here. So I've uploaded two things, a sample video over here and an Alexa Super Bowl commercial, right? So once you upload this content, it'll go ahead and run that through a bunch of different step functions. So these are step functions in AWS. Essentially, let me just maximize this view over here. But basically what this is doing is going through all the different operators that we just showcased, and it's going to start checking like label detection, scene detection, person tracking. These are little Lambda functions here that it's going through and just getting all of that information. So it's going to run through that as soon as you upload it. And then from here, we can go ahead and start analyzing this video, right? So you can see the video over here. We can see that we can tag people if it sees person. We can go to celebrities over here, and we can see that, oh, there's Jeff Bezos. We can see other celebrities that it's recognized over here as well. You can also see in this bottom time frame over here where it's recognized. You can see it's also red over here anytime these different tags are recognized. Moderation as well. In this case, it picked up tobacco early on. You can see that where it sees faces and only all these other different tags. You can see where that's in the video as well. Words over here, this is what we showcased earlier with recognition, OCR. So you can see where it has different words listed over here, and it showcases that where it's located in the slide over here, right? So for example, let's say Alexa. Alexa was written over here. Yeah, there it was on the screen earlier right there. So basically with the Media Insights engine, you have the ability to take advantage of all those different building components immediately, right away. You can also use speech recognition as well. You can see exactly what was mentioned in this video, and then you can go ahead and translate this again into 31 other different languages if needed over there to extend the reach of your content, also subtitling as well. You can take advantage of comprehend there to see key phrases as well as entities over here. The other thing I want to showcase really quickly is the different shots in this. So every time the shot changes, you can kind of see that when it starts over here, right? So again, any sort of insertion workflows or anything else for that, you can take advantage of these different aspects here. I definitely recommend checking this out. Also, if you have a lot of content here as well, you can search for that content too, right? So you can go ahead and say Jeff Bezos, right? And it'll pick up the different pieces of content and have it. And then in the Super Bowl commercial, there were some other celebrities there too. So Rebel Wilson was just in the Super Bowl commercial. So basically, all those tags over there, you can also make your content discoverable based on that as well. Now, again, this is really easy to set up. One-click install, takes advantage of those building block components that I talked about earlier, and it's great stuff. So let me go ahead and go back to the presentation. And then the resources. Again, if you want to find out more for different solutions that we have for media, you can go to check out the AWS solutions over there. The Media Insights engine over here is available as well. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out, kbatra@amazon.com. And thank you.